And we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. And today we're talking about Battlefield 5. It's coming off of what feels like hot off the heels of Battlefield 1, even though technically that was October 2016. Here we are in 2018 with Battlefield 5, set during World War II. And honestly, it does feel like the sequel to Battlefield 1. It doesn't totally reinvent the wheel. So depending on what type of Battlefield fan you are, that's probably going to mean a lot to you one way or the other. Now, I'm not a Battlefield expert on like metagame nuances, and I see a lot of mixed early impressions out there so far, but I'll say for myself personally, I find it a lot of fun. It feels somewhat incomplete and surprisingly glitchy and messy, but I still have some fun with it. And just a heads up, as much as I wanted to get my hands on the PC version, for our review copy, we had Xbox One. So all of this footage is captured between a base Xbox One and also a One X. It does feel pretty cool for a Battlefield game to be back in World War II, most notably thanks to what DICE does with the maps and stuff. They really do some incredible shit between Rotterdam, the weird mountainsides of Norway, wide open Africa campaign stuff, and one called Twisted Steel that's like full of vegetation and it's mostly flat, but it has this giant messed up bridge in the middle of it that everybody's fighting over. And I know Battlefield fans are picky and they want the biggest maps possible. Some of these don't feel absolutely vast, but they all seem to, at least for me, scratch that Battlefield itch, you know? Especially because you can blow shit up. Tanks can ram through buildings, explosions can like slide the snow off of slanted rooftops, wood breaks apart and flies everywhere, and a lot of maps feel like they really changed throughout a battle just thanks to all the collateral damage alone. With that, I don't want to be the guy that says it feels like certain other previous games in the series specifically, but I don't know. Also, let's get the single player out of the way because I really don't know how I feel about it. Mostly disappointed. I love the hell out of Battlefield 1's small little single player stories. They were short and obviously flawed, but I just found them interesting, fun to play through, and just kind of charming and unique. Plus, they were gorgeous. But the war stories in Battlefield 5 are okay. I mean, I don't know. They feel more uninspired, and there's a lot of stealth encouraged, and frankly, that's not fun, especially considering the AI is usually hilariously dumb, like really bad. I think it's all just because you sort of only get 3 big story focuses, and none of them totally feel like they have any big moments. Some incredibly beautiful scenery, yeah, but I just never really had a lot of fun with them. I had more fun with multiplayer, and obviously that's expected, but still, I was expecting a little more from these diversions. They try to emphasize characters, but none of them grew on me, and I can't really remember the characters from BF1 either, but they didn't even really focus on building them up then, at least as far as I can remember. Now, there's also not as many vehicle sections, which is a huge bummer, but the intro sequence is really, really impressive. Amazingly cool shit. I actually replayed it twice. But the biggest bummer of all is that the 4th war story you can play through is actually grayed out. It's not even available until December 4th. The same goes for Combined Arms, the game's spin on a cooperative mode. That's not available for launch, and it sounded kind of awesome on paper. Also, Tides of War is also grayed out, which is Battlefield's way of adding playable content and following an actual war story throughout multiplayer. That's essentially going to work as free add-on content later on, so we can't comment on that yet. It just kind of sucks to see another thing grayed out on the main menu. But Tides of War is also going to bring a bunch of new cosmetics and stuff like that, which leads to something Battlefield 5 does seem to get pretty right, and that's progression. While actual cosmetics don't feel super vast by any means, actually working through and leveling up and earning does feel satisfying, and it falls into a nice sweet spot of being challenging with a bunch of updated point-boosting challenges called assignments, while still not feeling overly grindy or geared towards making you buy into microtransactions. At least, not yet. Really, it's the more you play with certain things, the better those things can get, or the more stuff you unlock for it, and I like that loop. But for gameplay changes, you should know that classes have been shook up a bit once again to encourage and enforce real squad play. Of course, you can play on your own and do fine, but I hope you do like squads. With a lot of brand new Battlefield launches, sometimes it's hard to get with a group who play their roles at first because no one really knows what the hell's going on. But you can notice little differences here and there, and everyone seems divided. The medic class feels downplayed because of the lame weapons they get and the fact that everyone can heal and revive pretty decently on the go. Of course, medics can do it better, but it still led to me never having one around when I wanted one. Spotting, on the other hand, has changed considerably to completely revolve around the sniper class with a spotter scope, meaning they should, in theory, get their shit together and get moving and spotting more instead of camping. I don't know how I feel about this change yet. I think I kind of like the old ways of spotting better, but of course that's just me. Fortifications are fun as hell though. It goes so nice with the destructible environments. Like everyone being able to build up little sandbag walls or barbed wire fences lets you really actually feel like you're holding onto ground, and it's a nice feature for certain game modes in particular. Now, glitches and crashes are my biggest complaint though. I've seen glitches in a lot of Battlefield games, but here they were the most distracting. Even still, they never really changed the game or made me lose, but they were just annoying. What I did experience though were quite a few complete crashes, which is insanely disappointing considering some matches, as you know, can take a long time, and having a game crash on you in the middle is freaking rough, to say the least. I really hope they iron out whatever seems to be going on for some users, because I fall in that category. But to end on a positive note, the game looks and sounds damn good, as you probably expect from a DICE game. I feel like a dumb nerd because I'd stop and like marvel at the visuals or scenery during a match and then just get my head blown off because I wasn't paying attention. But I don't care. The environments they crafted are pretty marvelous. I freaking love them, man. But still, overall, it still leaves me feeling mixed on Battlefield 5. It's more Battlefield, it's fun, but some tweaks might irk the hardcore players. It seems to fall just short of a ton of content that many might expect. There's a little things missing here and there, and the glitches can be annoying. Over time, if it's supported like BF1, it could be badass. It's a lot of fun, but I hope you weren't expecting them to reinvent the wheel, like I said. Still, there's a lot more questions to be answered in terms of just how the Battlefield community itself will embrace it. Things change over time, the metagame is very important here, so I can't really comment on everything. I'm really curious to see how this all goes down. But this is, of course, a before you buy. You know how it goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, some personal opinion, and now I definitely want to hear your personal opinion down in the comments. Are you anticipating Battlefield 5? Are you one of those people that's really angry about Battlefield 5? Have you been playing? Did you get in early? Do you have it pre-ordered? Are you happy about the return to World War II? Or do you just want modern times, or maybe even the future again? I'm one of those weird guys. I don't know. I want to hear whatever you guys are thinking about Battlefield 5 down in the comments. Let's talk there. If you enjoyed this video, though, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. We really appreciate it. And if you're new, you should consider subscribing because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.